folks, how y'all doing today? I'm Stately. Welcome to the fair town of good intentions. So today we are going to fix up the Yolo grounds for one. I'm kind of unhappy with the way this looks, so we're gonna do a little bit of work on that. We're gonna do some city beautification, but before we do any of that, we have to play with the metro a little bit more because I'm having some troubles. Check this out. This is a mess, and I have trains stuck all over the place, and I've determined that the issue is pretty much just the fact that I have these lines crossing each other by the station. So we need to see what we can do about that, hopefully just by moving some stops to different platforms, but if not, we might have to redo the stops again. This guy, for example, if we move this here, and then we move the red one, that's not the red one, there's the red one. Move the red one, come on, right there, and that's still not right. Okay, let's move the red one back and move the blue one here, and now we have 3 trains on one stop. That's not good either. So let's see. My goal here is to have as few lines crossing each other as possible. So there's one other issue here. These red lines seem to keep getting stuck. But let's see how this works. Let's see if this helps clear things up a little bit. Look at all of these people. It's just madness. But this does look better. There's no crossings going on here, and there's just the one here. Now, I tried to fix this by having a separate line loop around under this line, but Metro Overhaul Mod would not let the subway take that line, even if I make the incoming red line a one-way track. So I don't know if that's a bug or not, but it's not right. That much I do know. So let's see what we got going on here. I'm hoping this will clear out pretty quickly. And it looks like it might be. So, okay, let's let this run for a little while. Hopefully everything is more or less under control over here. Let's do some work on the Yolo grounds. So, first problem here, I don't like this. And I figured the best thing we can possibly do is just delete it. We don't need an entrance on every single side. So we just won't have one. Let's put this somewhere that's else, maybe over here. This is just a little kiosk, it's nothing special. Like that. And then these little branching roads, you know, meh. Let's kind of simplify this. That already looks a little bit better. I'm going to get rid of these planters. I'm going to get rid of these planters. I'm going to click on the planters. I said I'm going to get rid of them. And we'll go ahead and get rid of this little playground too. There we go. Now this bugs me because the foliage is sticking through. Let's see if we can redo this road section and not have it be a bridge. And I think what I might need to do for that is just a little bit of terrain management. specifically this, and the brush size always ends up being like disastrous when you first launch the game. It doesn't remember what you were at. A little lower. Okay, something like that, and we'll go something like that, and kind of trying to spread this out as well as we can. Let's see how that looks. Okay, and park path. Park path is this one. Good. Excellent. That's much better. No more weird bridges. Everything looks a little bit cleaner already. Let's go ahead and like put these up right by the side of the path here. Like that. And then we have this. I think we can put down a little path to that. Although not under parks. There it is. We'll just have a little trail heading out to the playground here. I'm going to have to turn off the snapping. Right up to there. Look at that. That looks much better already. It looks a little barren now, but what I was thinking we could do is maybe have a couple of sports fields or something. I don't know exactly what I have to work with here. We have a high school football stadium. We have a football field. This is all too big. This is all snappy stuff too. Okay, so that's not gonna fly. What if we expand this outwards a little bit? I'd like to have something here. I don't really know what though. Maybe a gazebo? Do we have a gazebo? These are locked? Ah, yes. Well, you know what? The park hasn't exactly leveled up much yet. Why are we being unresponsive here? Okay, I don't know what that was about. But maybe, first of all, it's way too expensive. People are not using the park. Let's just make it nice and cheap for now. And entertainment until next level 414 out of 420. So let's see if I can add something that'll add a little bit of entertainment value just to get us up over that 420. 420. What do we got? Park piers? No, I can't do those yet. Park restrooms, we already have those. I don't think we need more restrooms. So maybe we'll just check in on this again later. We have reasonably high demand for everything right now, which would mean that it's probably a good time to go ahead and build some more commerce. Oops. That was my phone. I think we can fill these areas in. Ah, jeez. Alright. We're going to have to use a smaller brush for this, because we get those weird sidewalk artifacts. And it just doesn't look right. So this area here is still pretty much untouched. Let's go ahead and pop some more commercial in there. We'll grab ourselves another little alley here. Just a little two-lane alley like this. And then we'll put down some more commercial space here, and maybe even a little bit of office space over here. That should do the trick. And we can also have maybe 2 large office buildings over here, and then we'll put low density commercial down here. Kind of continue to fill this out. This is our entertainment zone. One of our entertainment zones anyway. And I'm sure people will be eager to start filling that out as soon as they possibly can. Okay, now we need more residential. We have no real obvious places for infill here. I mean, we could squeeze a couple in here and a couple in there, but that's not really what I'm looking for. So I think maybe we'll do a couple of high-density residential towers over here. Yeah, maybe not. It's gonna make traffic pretty heavy, and traffic is already not great. So instead of that, let's put something down over here. This will be a good place for a bit more residential. This will be kind of a nothing special neighborhood. We'll put down... Well, let's put down a little alley here for now, and then we'll put down some high-density residential on the street corners. And based on how that fills in, we'll look at the rest. There's no parking for these guys, for one. That's going to be an issue. This road can handle a fair amount of traffic, so I'm not terribly concerned in that regard. Yeah, that's going to fill out just fine, isn't it? So we're going to need some parking behind this, I think. See how that works. We can replace this with a parking road. Let's just bulldoze it and put down a new one because it needs to be a little longer anyway. Go down to about here. Does that seem about right? That seems about right. Do the same thing right about here. And then we'll do a parking lot between them. Like that. And we could do the same thing over here. I don't think we need to because this should be enough parking for both of those. Now we need to make sure this is flat. So we'll go ahead and... Hello? Thank you. Just eyeball this. Yeah, that's more of a slope than I expected, frankly. Oh, balls. You know what? There's also a fence here. Because I had this whole area fenced off at one point. Now we don't need it to be fenced off no more. Okay, let's see what happened to my zoning. Zoning is fine. It's just that whatever building I had there didn't quite fit. Not the end of the world. Let's flatten this out a little bit. Okay, that's maybe a little too much brush size. I'll just kind of push all of this back here. There we go. Alright, this looks pretty flat to me. Terrain behind it is kind of uneven. But that should be okay. And then this here, what if we put like a key down there? Does that make sense? I think it might. I'll say here to... Not quite. We get, yes. Get our anarchy on here. And then we'll just move this one manually. Like so. Oh, that also helps us see exactly how even this isn't. Alright, we're going to lower it to the point where it kind of matches up with the buildings behind it. No, not this one. This one. Not, there's only 2 nodes here. I'm just a bit of an idiot, is all. Right about there, and then we'll go ahead and lower this. Can we select this, please? Oh, you're being obtuse. That's what you're being. That seems to be about right. Okay, that's our parking lot. Let's go ahead and put in the actual parking. We'll definitely be able to use an 8x2 here. Thankfully. Makes life a lot easier when you can use the big ones. And then we'll use 3x2 next to that. Just need to get it lined up just so. And a couple of handicap spots and some. Oops, that one's not quite right, is it? There. And for the electric car lovers, I was looking. Oh, jeez. I was looking at the workshop last night, and somebody has uploaded a working gas station mod. And it's just a little too rough, I think, to include in good intentions. It requires you to do some hacky things with the metadata on the buildings to actually turn them into gas stations, and I'm not sure that it doesn't like unbalance the game, but I like the idea. Ah, jeez. Okay, I should not have done that, said Hagrid. There, all fixed. Okay, we got good parking for these. We've got room for maybe one more here. I think we'll leave this empty. It's going to be a pretty noisy little corner, and I suspect people might not like living there. We'll fill that out a little bit. I feel like we need a bit of decor here, so maybe we can put down some playground stuff. Do I have, like, basketball course? Do I have anything that's ploppable? Here, brush size 1, brush strength 1, and let's see if we can put this down somewhere where it'll look good. Yeah, the issue here is this isn't flat enough. This might be though, and if not, I might be able to flatten it. Alright, I'm a little unsure about that. We'll do this instead. We'll put down a couple of baskets. Yeah, people are really going to want to play basketball there, huh? And we'll just have some attractions here for the kids. Kids should be able to play, right? Do the same thing over here. A couple of seesaws down here. These seesaws are tiny. Swings. Ooh, thank you. A couple of swings over here. Not there, that's directly in front of the basketball net. Maybe back here. And now it's disappeared. Okay, that's gone well. I have made a swing disappear. Behind the tree over here then. Good. And then we'll put up a bit of hedging maybe to kind of demarcate these places. We'll do the shortish hedge. This guy right here. Turn off the snapping and run it from right about here to right about the back here in a straight line. Do the same thing on the other side. And I think maybe we'll go around the back too. I'm not sure why there's a gap there. Let's see if we can fill that in. Still got a gap. Not gonna worry too much about that. It's a little rear entrance. In case you're too lazy to go around. Okay, so I just realized a slight problem here. We're actually blocking off one of the entrances to the building, so we'll go out a little bit here. Still not perfect, but it's just a side entrance, so no big deal. And one more over here. Are we not snapping? Is snapping not something we do anymore? Shift P? Shift P is prop and tree anarchy. There we go. Lovely. It's not high-tech housing and it's not hugely valuable housing, but it will definitely comfortably house some citizens, and in the end, that's what we're going for. But still a lot of demand, and we haven't really accomplished a whole lot doing that. Excuse me. So let's see where we can expand here. Oh, you know what? There's a lot of space here that we haven't done anything with yet, and I think this would be a perfectly suitable area for some low-density housing right about here. Maybe even some high-density housing. So we got kind of a suburban area going on here, and on this side we have more of a traditional American block setup. Both of those look nice. I'm happy with both of them. For here we'll go ahead and do couple of regular roads. That, and why are you giving me an underground view? Seriously, guys? I mean, come on. Alright, that's mildly stupid. But we can fix this. Yes, we can fix it. We can fix it with the terrain leveling tool. Brush somewhere about there, and brush strength somewhere around nothing. And let's just flatten this out. Doesn't have to be perfectly flat. Just needs to be a little more workable. Alright, that should do the trick. Now we should be able to go ahead and page up back into the overworld. Ha! Much better. And maybe we'll go from here parallel to this. Not quite like that. More like this, I think. Run this down here, and alright, we still need to do a little more leveling here just to get everything nice and, well, buildable, honestly. Aha. That was the wrong button. Just spread it out until we kind of get rid of the cliff sides. Gradual slopes are fine. Same thing here. There we go. All right, ready for zoning. And we'll do, I don't know. We can do bigger houses along the road here and then maybe smaller houses at the back. So down here we'll have some little ones, maybe even some tiny ones, because we can. Lots of 3x3s and some 2x2s and maybe just a few big ones back here. Like so. Autosave freeze. Not this side. We'll leave that side blank for now. A few more here. And okay, that should start filling in nicely. Not a bad little neighborhood, I suppose. Alright, let's take a break and check in on our public transit mess. See if we've more or less managed to successfully solve this. I see, what do I see here? I see a lot of trains waiting. Still. They're kind of bunched up. But let's look at the numbers. 1,476 passengers a week is impressive. Oh, wow. That's a lot of people. And it would appear that this line, at least, this is the line that heads down to Funky Town, is working well. We got plenty of trains here. This is not ridiculous considering 180 people are just about to get off that podium and into the train. So no worries there. Let's check out the number 3 line. And we got a little yikes here. We got 400 people waiting for a train. So let's see. And we have, oh, check it out. Number of vehicles, 5 out of 7. We don't have enough cars on this line. And I know why. So the Metro Overhaul mod requires you to have your depot set up in such a fashion that it can reach the physically closest station of any line directly, which means that in order to get a new train on this blue line, I need to run a Metro car from here to here in a direct line. So I guess I need to just put down a little loop here. So we'll go ahead and try that. We don't need anything out of the ordinary, just a standard single line below ground. There we go. These track options, oh yeah, right, there's 2 of them too. It's a new mod. There's bound to be a few minor bugs. Nothing to worry about. So we want to go from maybe here to, well, from there to there should do it, right? We should find out soon enough because we should start getting trains coming out of here to reinforce that line. And I don't see any just yet. Is this connected? This looks connected to me. Let's see, it's still just 5 vehicles. 6, 5. Okay, so when it goes up and down like that, it's trying to spawn a new one but failing. And that means I've done something not quite right here. Hello? May I bulldoze, please? We'll just try again. Honestly, the best way to do this seems to be just keep trying until you get it right. So something like this, and then this. Is that going to do the trick? Hey, check it out. New Metro line coming out of the depot right now. So hopefully those oh, we have a problem. And the problem is a sudden massive shortage of water throughout the entire city. And a shortage of electricity. Oh, you know what? The water shortage is because our electricity is not getting to our water pumps. So, time for some more juice. Yeah, check it out. That's not good. Alright, what options do we have here? There's a lot of kind of silly stuff. Honestly, a geothermal power plant might be interesting in a specific type of build, but I think what we're going to do here is just put down a brand new oil-fired power plant. You know what? We have kind of an area up here. It doesn't really fit, though. What about down here? Not connected. I'm kind of short on space to put hugely polluting power plants down. Here, we'll put one down here. And hopefully that will solve our issues forthwith. Yes, I like saying forthwith. It's fun. It's fun to say forthwith. Let's see. Our water problems are still persisting, and there they go. Alright, problem solved. While we're here, let's turn this into like more of a complex, and I think we can do that by maybe just putting down some fences around it. Let's see if we have some nice chain link. Yeah, we have some nice chain link with barbed wire, because why not? And we'll do something like this. Put a curve in it. Go back to right about here. We can kind of manually work the curvature to make all of this fit in a little bit better after the fact. Nope, that was supposed to be straight. Which part of straight do you have difficulty understanding? There we go. To there, and now we want a curved one. Thank you. Right about here to right about. Nope, that's not quite right. This should be. Still kind of overlapping the corner there. But again, we can manually move it around a little bit and sort that out. Really, you don't want to snap? Oh, it's because you're curved. There we go. And now we can just grab, move it, and straighten all of these out a little bit. And this node here. I think we need to bulldoze this. There we go. Just move this node out a little and look at that. Now, do we have something like a guardhouse we could put down? G-U-A Guachain. Yeah, okay, that's what I was trying to do. No, we got a lifeguard house. Entry gates. I don't see anything particularly useful that we can put down at the entrance here. Except maybe maybe a couple of these. Boom gates. Put one here. We'll put one, actually, put that one there, and we'll align this one. If I can select it. There we go. That looks a little better. I feel like maybe we need just a few more buildings here to fill it in. So what we can do is just put a couple little industrial buildings down here. Nothing special, just tiny little things. Just to kind of fill it out. And I know there's a bit of demand for industry. Those guys might have big troubles finding employees, though. Okay. So, another quick look at the metro. We've updated the metro line so that we can actually get enough trains in, and This is the line we were having trouble with. It's still heavy, but now we're looking at a little more than a car full rather than, 400 people waiting. So this is good. Perfectly happy with that. Let's go back to the Yolo grounds and see if there's been any development in its recreational value. It is still at 414 out of 420, so we need to add something recreational here to bump it over 400. We are getting a lot more visitors now, thanks to the significant price reduction. And the problem here is I can't really build anything that would make things more interesting. I already have, like, the info booth and the cafe and all of that stuff. So my next undertaking, well, I guess what we can do is we can expand the central square. We'll have to flatten this out so that we can have a square right next to it. Get that brush size about where we want it again. Maybe a little smaller than that. Maybe a little bigger than that. Just right. And I want to get this all on the same level as the other one. That means we might have a bit of steep terrain here. That's not too much of an issue. That's kind of why we got rid of the entrance on that side, although there's still the sneak-in gate here. And you know what? I'm fine with that. If people want to sneak in, they can do that. I've no objection. What the? Park chessboard? I don't need a massive chessboard in my park. Give me something less ridiculous. Wonder if these things add entertainment value. Anyway, not why we're here. We're here to expand the plaza. I click and you scroll. Yeah. Okay, we need to take the park roads, expand those first, and then we can expand the plaza. We'll go ahead and go with these. We'll just take one of them and expand it outwards as far as we need to. In a straight line. In a straight line. Very good. And now we can slap down that plaza. Right there. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm dual plazaing. Hey, there we go. Okay, now I can build that gazebo. Ha! It's all about the gazebos, man. I'm just in it for the gazebos. But the trail up, I'm a little unclear on why I keep getting that weird overview. Turn off the snaps, and I need it. I need it to come right up to here. Let's snap to angle and nothing else. Beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that much nicer? Okay, so gazebo time. It's gazebo time. I know you're all very excited about the gazebo. Nobody ever gets excited about gazebos. Who am I kidding? We're still putting a gazebo down. What do you think? The red one? Number 2? I like gazebo number 1. Let's put down a little trail off to the side here with the trees, because why not? And go from here to here and around the corner like so. moment you've all been waiting for, the accumulation of 21 episodes of me playing City Skylines. The gazebo won't go where I want it. It never does. Look at that. We've got a gazebo. Let's just move this a little bit. There we go. I wonder if I can manually move this over. Yeah. I'm trying to move you. I'm trying to find information about you. How's that look? Get directly above it. Makes it a little easier to straighten things out. I think that should do just fine. We should have some trees around it, obviously. Who doesn't like trees? What kind of trees shall we have? Why can't I find the trees? I'm always on the wrong tab. I am never not on the wrong tab. Something like this. Brush size. Like so, and then we can just do this. No, really, no. There's a maximum props per square area that that you can hit on, and I think it's okay if you place them manually. But if you're using the area tool, it will prevent you from putting too many props in one specific area. Okay, so the Yolo Grounds looks nicer now. It's a little more roomy. I still would like to have a bit more variety, but this looks a lot more like a park I'd be willing to visit than it previously did. And look at that, we're actually even making a profit. Our entertainment level isn't high enough to level up some more, and I don't think we'll get there, because this is, in the end, still a fairly modest little place. But that's okay. Alright, next step. This area here is very bland, and I feel like it needs to look a little more like a central plaza. So the first thing I think we need to do here is just grab a couple of paths that we can use to connect these areas together. And we'll do... Let's get our snapping on here. See if we can do that, and then we'll have a bicycle path on the other side. And then we'll just move these manually so that they nudge right up against the side of the station here. No, this one. Like this. And like that. It's a little sloppy, isn't it? The way they intersect there. Much smaller brush size. Oh, boy, I hate this so much. Look at this. Look at this mess. We'll just have to freehand it. And it still doesn't work. This is just crap is what this is. Alright. New plan. What do we got? What do we got in the way of a plan B here? We will put bushes around it. Straightforward, simple bushes. Let's see what we have available to us. Bush! Give me the bush. You know what? I could do the prop line tool with this. Is that going to look silly or good? Not going to look anything. I can't place it. Great. That's very helpful. Prop line tool. Thank you. Yeah, alright. I know, it's a little hokey, but what are you gonna do? I guess my other option is to... Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll just do that. Stand by. I can asphalt the entire frickin' thing. Mine is an evil laugh. Oh, jeez. Alright, close enough. There. Excellent. And I guess we can get rid of those. No, we should leave the paths in, because otherwise they still might not know how to use this stuff. Well, now I've managed to make it, like, super ugly and flat. So, what must I do now? Let's go ahead and put down some... I don't know, a fountain, a flower bed, just fence it up and call it a day. Because I've clearly not made it prettier here. I have, in fact, done the opposite. What about parking lots? Should we just have parking here? Let's see how that would look. We'll do the wide one, the slightly less wide one, and we'll run it from here to there. That's not bad, actually. It's a lot of space being taken up for what feels like not a whole lot of parking, though. Yeah, I don't really feel that. It's doable, but it's not appealing. So, yeah, what do we do about this? Do we put down some zoning to kind of fill it in? We can have a couple of buildings here. And we can have a couple of buildings here. And it doesn't quite line up, unfortunately. And then maybe we can have some kiosks or something to kind of fill it all out. You know what we could also have? I haven't done this yet. There's no reason not to have a taxi stand here. If there's a place where it makes sense to have a taxi stand. Really? You're unhappy about having a taxi stand? Oh, this is a problem. This is a problem. Overlapping zoning. Have to dezone that. We'll leave this one in, and we'll go ahead and zone that and see what happens. And sorry about the weather. It turns itself on. Every single time it turns itself on. Gameplay. Use dynamic weather is a niet, comrade. Niet on the dynamic weather. Look, I already dezoned you. It's not like you don't know what's going to happen here. And there's the taxis. Okay. I think that's probably a good thing. And do we want something decorative here? Let's see what we can find. Can we put down a statue or a fountain or something? And we got these horse rider statues. Those are not very interesting. But a fountain. That's a pretty tiny little fountain. Oh, that's a bigger fountain. That'll work. And then let's demarcate the actual traffic area here from the commercial areas with some fencing. And maybe a few benches even. Let's see what we got here. Castle wall ruins? No. Park fence? Eh. Amusement park fence? Eh. Forestry fence? You know what? Maybe we'll use flower boxes instead. Let's see. That would probably be planter. No, plantation? I'm not seeing... Oh, here we go. This is kind of what I'm looking for here. Something like this. And we'll use the line tool. Try to use the line tool. Doesn't always seem to work out. Same thing over here. Oh. Well, that's a lot less interesting. Do I have to put these in manually? You're gonna make me work for it, game? Yeah, okay, that's a sloppy mess. That's why we don't do these things manually, I guess. Okay, that's clearly not granular enough to be useful to me. Hello? This is a pain in the ass. I don't like pains in the ass. We'll try something different. Let's get rid of these. And we'll use a network hedge instead. Come on, network hedge. Show me what you got. Turn off the snapping. Turn off the snap. Which part of turn off the snapping do you not get? Whatever. Here. That looks good. Do the same thing over here. I'm a little unclear on why the fencing for the taxi stand looks the way it does, but I'm going to simply let that be because there's an exit over there as well. And we don't need to do anything too crazy. We do, however, want to leave the sidewalk accessible. I wonder, are any of these like tall enough that we can use them as end pieces? I mean, I guess? Does that look weird? I think that looks kind of nice. Yeah, that's not bad. That'll do just fine. Passenger service last week, 0. I don't believe that because I keep seeing trains coming by and like millions of people getting off. So, why are you doing this to me? Why are you lying to me? Okay, that's definitely an improvement. Let's check out our new zones. A little sparse here. Just a tiny bit barren. It kind of bugs me when you get like the 3x2s that are set back when that's not really what you wanted. Can we get that turned off, please? But it's working just fine. Areas like this, I feel like I kind of need to fill everything in, but then you end up with just massive piles of asphalt, and that's not too interesting either. Okay, quick look around town, see how everything's doing. Do we have any flashy lights anywhere? How's Mudslide? Mudslide is a nice little town, actually. It looks like it's gentrified a bit. No, well, these are still only tier 2 houses, so nothing spectacular here. I need to look into exactly how Industries works because I get the distinct impression I'm doing it wrong. And Shady Pines looks good. Somehow I'm not making a whole lot of money out of a lot of these things, and it feels like I'm missing something. There's something to do with the warehouses that I haven't been paying attention to. Possibly. Alright, while we're here, let's go ahead and level this out a little bit. Turn this down. Set that to there. And just go like this. Oh. Yeah, that's no big deal. That's fine. I just don't like it when these buildings have these obvious square blocks around them that makes it very clear that they're not really properly fitting. Now this area here is kind of a blind area. I'm thinking maybe it could be part of the university quad. This could be where we have our sports arenas or something. Again, no campus. We're just freehanding this, but the idea is still the same. Let's check in on the zoo. Okay, the zoo is actually level 4 already. I think maybe we can expand it a little bit. Let's see what our options are here for new zoo attractions. Main gate, small gate, side gate. Got all of those things. These aren't interesting. We got the moose and reindeer enclosure already in the birdhouse. Got the antelopes. I think we have the bisons. Wrong button. Yeah, this is the bison enclosure, right? Yeah. The reptile house, okay, and everything beyond this we don't have yet. So the monkey palace, the elephant enclosure, the giraffe enclosure, and the flamingo enclosure. So one thing I'd like to do here, and I've been thinking about this ever since I put this down, I think this guy would be better off down here because it's just not the kind of building you'd expect isolated up on a hillside. So maybe we put that there. Let's just try to move it over enough to center with this. Is that about right? Yeah, that's good. We got some spare trees that we don't need. This is going to be difficult. No way I'm not going to accidentally tear down the building when I'm doing this, is there? That's better. We need to lower it because that front edge is really strangely steep. And I'd rather have a steep cliff at the back than that. Okay, that looks fine. This looks much better from the entrance, too. That's... oh. Right. No, the zoo does... no, of course the zoo doesn't get its own frickin' power plant. There. And now we can use that area that we just cleared up for one of the new attractions. And... I don't know, that monkey palace looks pretty good to me, man. We'll put that on this side. And then we'll put... what else have we got? The elephant enclosure? Elephant enclosure's pretty big, but it looks like it'll fit. Yeah, the level's a little off. Let's go ahead and see if we can lower this to line up with the road on the side there. Yeah, that looks okay. Why are you guys still complaining about electricity? That should not be a problem right this second. What a pretty zoo we have. I think this is a fine-looking zoo. Everything's very compact up here, but we do have a little bit more room to expand here. And down here, this looks much nicer now. So what else do we have? Do we have one or two more things we can put down? The giraffe enclosure. So the giraffe enclosure comes with its own road by the look of it. That's fine. Let's go ahead and expand this over to here. With a little more room and see how we'll do this. I think our best bet is to maybe take a small road section out from here. We'll use our pretty zoo road. Are we still snapping, or... Well, actually, that's probably fine. Just go out a little bit. Like so, and then we can slap down the enclosure. So that's the giraffe enclosure right here. So it comes with its own road, but it doesn't seem to be too interested in properly snapping. Well, that's pretty okay. Yeah, that'll do just fine. We got, I think, a couple of spare trees that are not part of the enclosure. Get some water out here because elephants be thirsty, yo. And level out the terrain a bit so that it all doesn't look quite so hideous. Oh, yeah, that's the wrong button. There, like that. That's pretty good. We'll put down a couple of new trees to make up for the ones we just lost. Just kind of fill this area out a little bit, and over here, and then we'll have some small bushes or something. Oh yeah, a little splash of color. Maybe even over here. Look how nice this zoo is. Isn't this a lovely zoo? This is just a lovely zoo. Alright, folks, that's going to do it for today. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow, and hopefully we'll start expanding some more tomorrow because it's time to keep growing. Alright, folks, take it easy. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.